Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you aren't. We do everything on the channel from goat format, Edison, Tengu, hat format. So if you like any of the retro formats, and we're even going to be doing more of the niche ones like Teledad, maybe like the Gladiator Beast format, some other ones, stick around for that, subscribe. And let's get into today's profile, which is Bazoo Return for goat format. Popular deck for the rogue category, I would say. Definitely rogue as hell, but it does have some really good cards in it. So it's definitely viable, but you know, compared to Warriors of Chaos Turbo, if you're picking between the two, you'd probably just go with those versus something that's more rogue and just has like pieces in the engine. But for sure, Bazoo can go off, especially with cards like Return for Different Dimension. So let's get into the card choices and let me know if you have any changes or what you would do instead. And here we go. We got double Bazoo, the Soul Eater. He's going to allow you to banish cards from your graveyard up to 3 once per turn, and he's going to gain 300 points of attack for each one. So if he gains 900, that puts him up to 2,500, and that's until the end of your opponent's next turn. So he gets pretty big. And shout out, because we got the first edition OGs. We had to do it for you guys for the video. We got the 1 Blackluster Soldier, 1 Breaker, 1 Tribe. Special mention on Tribe. Tribe is actually going to allow us to discard cards. So that synergizes very well with Bazoo. We're trying to get cards out of our hand, into the graveyard, onto the field, into the graveyard. By hook or crook, we want to load that graveyard up for Bazoo. Especially if it's monsters, because then we can special summon it back off return, which is really good for us. Alright, and that's what I meant by playing cards that are found in different decks, because we're just playing like generically good cards here, as you can see. Speaking of generically good cards, we're playing 2 Kaiku, and we're going to play 3 Thunder Dragon. Let me move this over a little. Special mention on Thunder Dragon, not only is it light fodder for Blackluster Soldier, or discard fodder for Tribe Infecting Virus, but it is going to simultaneously load the hell out of our graveyard for Bazoo. So Thunder Dragon, I feel, is mandatory in a Bazoo return deck. Any of these other ones, you could play generically good stuff, you know, whatever you want, but I feel like Thunder Dragon is definitely mandatory. And then we have 3 Dekoichi. Dekoichi is going to allow us to just kind of set the pace, start to draw cards, start to set up the field towards our Bazoo, you know, get one in the graveyard, draw a card, kind of just cycle through our deck and set up for that big play. We got the 1 DD Warrior Lady. DD Warrior Lady is not only just generically good, but because she does banish herself, she's a prime target for Return from Different Dimension. We're going to keep referencing Bazoo in Return because it's Bazoo Return, right? So we're playing cards that have good synergy around those. Exiled Force obviously gets off into the field for Bazoo fodder, just really good. And at this point, I should also mention that I'm going through the Warriors because we are playing a Warrior package that you'll now realize. So we have the 1 DD Warrior Lady, the 1 Exiled Force, 1 Mystic Swordsman, 1 Dawn, 1 Grandmaster Sasuke, and 2 Blade Knight. It's not a full Warrior package as you would see in a Warrior deck. We're not playing the 3rd Blade Knight. We're not playing Zombira. But we're playing pretty much most of the generically good ones as well as 2 Blade Knight. You could even cut down Blade Knight to 1 if you really wanted to. But we do like having a little heavier monster count to make Return from Dimension really go off. You want to be able to make sure that works out for you. And then let's get on to the spells and traps. Okay. Like I said, you got your cell phone, wallet, and keys. Never leave home without them. Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo. Cards are insane. You got to play them. Every single GOAT deck, unless you're playing like a Burn or a Exodia. Exodia, you don't really have to play Duo, and Burn, you don't really have to play Duo. But yeah, you got to play these in every deck that you're trying to actually beat them by, you know, just playing back and forth. Battle damage being your win con. You got to outgrind your opponent, so these are really necessary. +1, that's neutral but helps you cycle, and that's +1, so you got to play the pluses and minuses. Alright, Snatch Steal, obviously really good. Heavy Storm and MST help us feel safe going in for plays. They're both limited to 1, so we'll play them. And then because we're playing the Warrior package, we're playing the 2 Rhoda. Might as well. It helps you deck thin as well as search for something within your small toolbox, whatever you need in the moment, whether it be an Exiled Force to pop something, a DD Warrior Lady to banish something, you know, Swordsman level 2 to hit a face down. You get the idea. You know what the Warrior package does. Really good for us. And I'm happy that we're able to incorporate it into this deck because it had the space. And we're playing 2 Noblemen. We don't play too many flip effects, so unless we're hitting into Koichi, this really doesn't hurt us at all. And then as well as being able to remove a monster, pretty nice. We're playing the best generic back row. We're playing 1 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Ring of Destruction. You guys know what these do. Nothing more to say about them. These cards go hard in the paint. You got to play them. And then we're playing 2 Return from a Different Dimension. I might down the road make a profile where we max out on the Bazoo Return, where we play 3 Bazoo and 3 Return. And then we go from there and see what we can do. But for now, I feel like 2 and 2 is fine. Use them as more of a small engine, and then just play generically good cards that go around them. And this deck can definitely win games. Like I said, it's a mixture of... I would call it a Chaos Warrior deck with Bazoo Return. But if you look at most Bazoo Return lists, you'll see something similar to this anyways. The GOAT format card pool is not super extensive. It's limited to what, like less than 2,000 cards, something like that. So... yeah, you got to play what you can play and play the better cards rather than playing the worst cards is always a good idea in my book. All right, for the final traps of the deck, we got 2 Trap Death Shoot, 3 Solemn Judgment. Yeah, I mean, what can I say about these? Trap Death Shoot and Solemn Judgment, extremely good cards. If you guys follow us through the formats, you'll know that these are both limited to 1 in Edison, so the fact that we can play them, we can even play a 3rd Trap Death Shoot if we wanted to. But we had room for 2, so we'll play 2. These cards go... extremely hard. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for today's deck profile. If you guys enjoyed it and you want to see more retro deck profiles like Goat, Edison, Tengu, and Hat, subscribe and like for more. We appreciate you. Peace out.